And this morning, a person of interest is in custody after a mass shooting at an Independence Day parade in a Chicago suburb. Thanks for joining us at 6 a.m. I'm Chris Groh, in for Eric Connor.
And I'm Dana Marie McNichol, in for Netta Arampur. At least 6 people were killed and about 30 injured in yesterday's shooting. Bradley Blackburn is in Highland Park, Illinois, with the latest.
Highland Park police say the gunman opened fire from a rooftop, spraying bullets onto the crowd below as people watched an Independence Day parade.
I remember hearing shootings and going like, and then reloading and then again, and people screaming and running. All I thought about is just, getting my daughter to safety, and I ran with her.
Close to 9 hours later, police took a person of interest, Robert Cremo III, into custody. Officials said his vehicle was spotted and he was stopped after a brief chase.
The subject was taken into custody without incident.
This individual is believed to have been responsible for what happened. They've processed a significant amount of digital evidence today, which helped lead investigators in this direction.
Police believe the gunman used a high-powered rifle to fire from a spot on top of a commercial building here along the parade route. They say he was very difficult to see.
We saw a man had a shot in his back and saw a man on the floor bleeding and another person shot.
This man, who brought his 5-year-old son to the parade in this Chicago suburb, initially thought the July 4th gunfire was a Navy gun salute until he saw people running and the horror unfolding.
You feel like you're just going to get shot when you're running away, and it's just horrible to see all that terror.
Investigators recovered a firearm at the scene. Authorities say 5 adults died there. One victim died at the hospital. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Highland Park, Illinois.
The cops are saying get out.
And a chaotic scene in Philadelphia where 2 officers were shot during a 4th of July celebration. Shots were fired last night as a fireworks show was getting underway, causing people to panic and run away. And thankfully, the officers are expected to be okay. Take a look at this. In fact, one of the bullets got stuck in the officer's hat. You can see it lodged right in there. According to the police union, that officer was carrying a prayer card of a late police chaplain inside the hat. The police union's president said it was, quote, an angel on his shoulder. Here's what the police commissioner also had to say.
It is miraculous. Again, the fact that the round stopped in his hat. It initially, I think, went up the inside, hit his forehead, and then the round stopped in his head.
That officer had a grazed wound on their head. The other officer was hit in the shoulder. Both have been released from the hospital. Meantime, police are still looking for the shooters. Now to a big story for travelers this morning. Navigating the San Diego International Airport is going to get a bit harder.
Starting today, you can expect significant delays at the airport because of construction. That's where we have CBS 8's Ariana Cohen. She's there live to explain what it's looking like. I mean, a lot of people are traveling home today or out of San Diego.
Yes, you're right about that. It's one thing to travel the day after a holiday, especially for travelers who are heading home. Well, now you'll have to expect congestion and delays for what's going on behind me. Construction crews are in the process of removing the Terminal 1 bridge.
If you are going to be flying out July 5th through the 8th, just allow some extra time because there will be, again, some detours, some lane closures, and likely some traffic because of the construction.
Passenger car drop-offs and pickups will be rerouted on Thursday and Friday over to the ground transportation area nearby as they take down the final segment of the bridge. This is all part of the process for construction of the new Terminal 1 parking plaza, which will have over 5,000 parking spaces and should take about 2 years to build. The first phase of the T1 project will be completed in 2025, while the full completion is anticipated for 2028. Right now, parking is also extremely limited. You can make reservations ahead of time online or by using their app. We have that link at cbs8.com. Reporting live from the San Diego International Airport, Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
Thank you so much, Ariana. And the 4th of July ended up being a better day to fly than over the weekend. There were significantly fewer cancellations and delays at U.S. airports yesterday. And since Thursday, airlines canceled more than 2,200 flights and another 25,000 were delayed. At last check, there are about 10 delays out of the San Diego International Airport and only 1 cancellation. Airlines are struggling with bad weather compounded by crew shortages.
And we are turning to a developing story. An investigation continues this morning after a body was found during a fire at an apartment complex. It happened just before noon yesterday on Copeland Avenue in the Terrelta West neighborhood. That's in City Heights. Crews found the body in the kitchen once they got the fire knocked down. People in other apartments were able to evacuate safely, and the fire did not spread to other units.
When the crews got there, it was already coming out of pretty much the entire unit upstairs. They made an aggressive attack, extinguished the fire within 5 to 10 minutes.
The unit has been deemed a total loss. The victim has not been identified. And this morning, 2 firefighters are recovering after being hurt while fighting a fire in Kearney Mesa. It happened around 6:30 yesterday evening at a building on Claremont Mesa Boulevard near Convoy Street. 2 firefighters were hurt when a window blew out from some sort of blast. They suffered small cuts and minor injuries on their faces. They were taken to the hospital. No word yet on what may have caused that explosion.
And some people across the nation and San Diego skipped 4th of July celebrations. They instead used the holiday to fight for abortion rights after a Supreme Court decision overturned Roe v. Wade. More than 100 people gathered in front of the Hall of Justice before marching around downtown.
I think it's a better time for a man to be out here than just women fighting it alone. I think they need as much power and as many people behind them as possible to help move forward instead of backwards.
And in Sacramento, protesters blocked traffic on the I-5 for several hours. CHP eventually moved in and got the crowd off the freeway. And this morning, there is an effort to keep San Diego's beaches clean after a busy holiday weekend.
The Surfrider Foundation is hosting the annual Morning After Beach Cleanup. The Surfrider says today is the dirtiest beach day of the year following the 4th of July celebrations. Volunteers will be out at several locations from Ocean Beach to Oceanside starting at 8 a.m. this morning. For more information, head to CBS8.com, click the help button, and you can figure out how to participate. I know it's so important, Evan. We have so many visitors and tourists that come, and you are really passionate. We just saw the Earth 8 special about keeping our beaches clean.
Yeah,
it's a joint effort.
It's not hard to do. That's the craziest part, is like the people who are leaving plastic and trash on the beach. We have the Good Samaritans then that come out this morning to help clean it up. Pack in, pack out. Make sure to take whatever you brought in with you as you leave. Now, if you're spending time along the coastline, well, hey, you're not going to be alone this week. Even though 4th of July yesterday is notorious for being a big beach day, temperatures are going to keep climbing toward this upcoming weekend, which means a lot of people are going to be headed to the coastline, especially where your inland temperatures are going to be climbing. So today we're around 80 degrees for your inland valleys, but by the time we get to the upcoming weekend, we're going to be around 90 degrees. That'll keep things in the above average range toward the upcoming weekend. But for today, we're still in the below average range, and that includes along the coastline. A couple clouds associated with that pretty expansive marine layer to start off the morning. Those clouds will pull back over the next couple hours, give us plenty of sunshine. It's only 6:09 on the clock. That means that as we head into about 8, 9, 10 a.m. we'll see those clouds pull pretty far back and give us sunshine for the late morning all the way through the afternoon and evening. Temperatures walking out the door right now are mostly in the 50s and 60s. 61 as we speak in Escondido. Good morning to you in Poway at 63, Del Mar 64, and Alpine 52 degrees, one of the cooler spots on the map. Looks like over the next several days those temperatures keep climbing. A ridge of high pressure is just off to the east of us around the central U.S., and that's going to move to the west. It's going to move in our direction and start to impact our temperatures across the southwestern U.S. So you see that climb that's really going to be felt inland. Along the coast, we have very mild changes in temperatures. So we have afternoon highs in the low 70s today. The warmest we're going to get is the mid 70s, so barely a 2 to 3 degree temperature change. Whereas inland, you'll feel that change from the low 80s today to the about mid 90s possible by the time we get to this upcoming weekend. Marine layer is active this morning along the Bight. If we zoom in specifically to San Diego, you can see how clouds are stretching all the way toward your inland valleys. But again, shouldn't be too active. Yesterday, we saw it pull back relatively quickly by the late morning. Same case is expected today. A less active marine layer should be with us as we head from Thursday through the upcoming weekend. It'll hang around mainly just that coastline. Let's take a look at what's going on in traffic. It's 6:10 on the clock right now, and so far things have been really mellow on the roads. We've stayed stayed relatively quiet. I want to zoom in to one crash that is continuing to block the right-hand shoulder on the 5 southbound. This is at Capistrano Drive between about the San Clemente area and Oceanside, closer to Oceanside. Right now, still, there are no major backups on the 5 northbound or southbound in the area, so you should be good to go despite this right-hand shoulder being blocked. CHP has been on scene for about a half hour. Looks like they're working to get a tow truck on scene for any truck or any car that needs it, and shouldn't cause any major backups since none of those lanes are blocked on the 5 north or southbound.